Just booked my first cash patient and I completely undervalued myself. That's how one of my doctors, Dr. Jenny, opened the post she shared the win with me. So let me tell you what happened, because this one story holds everything I want to show you today. So Dr. Jenny had an 85-year-old patient, active lady on Kaiser, already coming in and paying cash for her foot care. She wanted her bunion fixed, and Jenny, standing right there in the room, was terrified to say a number. She finally pulled it out, $5,000, everything included for 6 months. She was so nervous, she wrote it on a piece of paper and set it across the table. The patient looked at it, calm as anything, and said, $5,000, that sounds reasonable. I can actually afford it. I was expecting higher. Sit with that for a second. The doctor was scared to charge. The patient thought the price was low. Hello, this is Dr. TJ An. In the last video, I showed you that you do not have to drop insurance to get paid. The hybrid model lets you keep insurance and add cash on top. But if that's true, then why don't more doctors do it? So here's the truth. It's not the patients. It's not the market. It is these 3 lies you are telling yourself. And today I'm taking all 3 apart, one at a time, with real doctors and real numbers. And this is not just a podiatry thing. This works for dermatology, orthopedics, dentists, almost any private practice. So let's get right into it. So lie number 1, my patients will never pay out of pocket. Well, this is the big one, and it is simply not true. Think about it. Your patients already pay out of pocket every single day. They pay deductible, they pay co-insurance, they pay cash for LASIK surgery, for cosmetic work, for the gym, for supplements, for their dog's surgery. The money is there. What's missing is the offer. So let me show you. This is Dr. Taga. For the longest time, she believed she could never charge more than $1,500 for a heel pain package. That was her ceiling. Then she built a real offer with me, Shockwave plus Biologics, and she closed her first $3,000 case. Her ceiling was never real. It only existed in her head. Let me show you another one. Here's Dr. Helene, a $10,000 bunion and toe correction, paid cash. The patient's husband pushed back at first, and Helene held her ground because she knew the value of what she was offering, $10,000. So these patients did not need convincing that their health has value. They needed a doctor willing to make the offer. The block was never the patient's wallet. It was the doctor's mouth or doctor's mindset. Lie number 2. If I go cash, I'll lose all of my patients. Okay, will you lose some? Yes, maybe some. The pure price shoppers, the ones who were only there because you were in network and cheap. And honestly, let them go. Those are not a lot. Those are few patients. They were never really your patient's clientele. They were the insurance company's patients. But here's what nobody tells you. With a hybrid model, you do not have to choose. You keep taking insurance for what insurance covers, and you add cash for what it doesn't. Look at Dr. Alex, same patient, both rails. He closed a cash regeneration package, and because the patient still had insurance, he billed the covered items through insurance at the same time. One patient, cash and insurance, side by side in the same visit. So same story with Dr. Taga. She charged cash for biologics and the patient's insurance paid for the ortho. You are not firing your patient. You are serving them on both rails and you are getting paid properly for both. Does that make sense? Lie number 3, and this is the one that runs the deepest. Charging cash makes me look greedy. So let me be honest with you about something. When I started, I was terrible at this. I was not a natural at sales. I was not good at closing. The idea of looking a patient in the eye and asking for money made me deeply uncomfortable, just like Dr. Jenny undervaluing herself. So I was right there. So here's what I did. I invested in myself. I went and learned it. Because increasing patient acceptance, helping people say yes to the care they actually need, that is a skill. It is a completely learnable skill. Nobody is born knowing how to do it. And you are certainly never taught it in medical school. And once I learned it, I built a program to teach it to other doctors. It's called the Profit Alchemy. We just wrapped season 5 at the start of this year. Over 200 doctors have gone through it and 100% completion rate. 200 doctors who used to feel exactly the way some of you feel right now. Here's the reframe you need. Money is not a dirty word. It is a tool. It is a medium. And undervaluing yourself is not humble. It actually shortchanges your patient, because a practice that can't stay financially healthy can't give great care for very long. So go back to Dr. Jenny. She was so afraid of looking greedy that she nearly priced herself into the ground. And the patient's response, she said, I was expecting higher. The greed was never real. It only lived in her head. Like Dr. Greg here, who finally built the structure to charge for his self-paid service with confidence. This is what learning this skill does. So always invest in yourself. It is the highest return investment you will ever make. So let's step back. All 3 lies. Patient won't pay. I'll lose everyone. I'll look greedy. Well, every single one of them lives in doctor's head, not in the patient's reality. The patient is already ready. The only real question is whether you are. And once you kill these 3 lies, the real power of this model shows up in your numbers. Not in how many patients you see, but in how much each visit is actually worth. That number is called ARPV, average revenue per visit, and it is the whole game. This is the next video, so make sure you are subscribed. So real quick, if you're getting value from this, hit that subscribe button. It's free and it helps the channel grow. Now listen, if any of this is hitting home and you want to build a hybrid practice like the doctors I just showed you, or you simply want to work with me directly, I opened up a small number of complimentary strategy sessions for doctors who are serious about this. There's a link right below this video where you can grab one. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation about your practice and where it could go. So grab a time before they fill up. So let's recap. 3 lies keep doctors trapped. Your patients will never pay, and yet they pay out of pocket every day. You lose all your patients, and yet the hybrid model means you never have to choose. And charging cash makes you look greedy, when the truth is that undervaluing yourself is what actually hurts your patients. So the model works. The patients are ready. So learn the skill, invest in yourself, and make the offer. In the next video, I'm breaking down ARPV, the one number that changes everything about how you run your practice. You do not want to miss it. If this helped, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.